stream going.
Okay. There you go. Okay, so welcome everybody. Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation, July the 13th, our meeting. We're going to call it to order, and I need approval of the minutes for the June 7th meeting.
Peter will make a motion.
Second, Joe Rizzo.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, is Kevin in attendance? Kevin Loki.
At the moment.
We can come back to him. Is Brian LaFountain?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Brian LaFountain.
Okay. You want to talk to us a little bit about the labor exemption report for June?
Yes, so I had 2 local labor exemption requests that I processed for June. Both of them were related to the Highland Hospital Patient Tower Addition project. The first one was related to the first one was related. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. First one was related to the electrical work at the project site. Basically, it's the local union hall was full. They're at full employment, and they did not have enough folks to serve the needs of the electrical work there. So they had to make a request to bring in some folks from other local or sister local unions to keep up with the timeline. So essentially, there wasn't anybody in the local union halls, or they had people in the local union halls, but they didn't have enough to service the client at the project site. So they had to bring in some electrical workers from offsite, from other local unions around the state. That was the first one. The second one was the same type of situation at the Highland Hospital site. They had plumbers and pipe fitters, which is the same situation. The local union hall was at full employment, and they needed to bring in some additional union folks from sister locals and other locals around that they did not reside within the area. So essentially, in both situations, they did all they could to exhaust the local resources, and they had to bring in some workers from other sister locals.
That lets us know the construction industry is not hurting.
Yeah, right now for sure. Over the summer months and with a lot of the big projects that are going on, everybody is short workers at this time.
Any questions for Brian?
Honey, if I want to apologize, I sent the June report to the board, not the July report. So if anyone was confused what Brian was talking about, sorry about that. I just resent it.
Thank you, Robin. Jeff was very confused.
Sorry. I just sent it out.
Well, looking at that report, is there any questions for Brian? Okay, we want to move to Greg. He's not here today, but Anna has some bullets that I think will be interesting for us.
All right, thank you, folks. I'm going to hop off.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Hanif.
Thank
Oh, sorry. So are we going over the financial report? Or are we going over the
Those are
staff?
the notes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you. So there are some summary points that Greg provided to us today. He can't be on the call. Cash has dipped by approximately $415,000 from year end because of an excess of expenses over revenue, paying down last year's accrued liabilities, as well as the issuance of a $500,000 revolving loan, $500,000 from our revolving loan fund in June. You'll recall that the home leasing project, the check went out last month. The influx of cash at the beginning of the year from the Fast Forward Monroe Loan to Grant program helped to bolster the cash balance for the heavy cash outflow year to date. All of the revolving loan fund and gain loan payments are current as of today. There is an increase to the revolving loan fund balance as a new $500,000 revolving loan fund was issued, as I mentioned last month, to Taylor Square Associates. That's the LLC for the home leasing project over at the in the city. The emergency loan balance is unchanged through June, but we are bringing 3 loans to the board today for forgiveness. The team is working behind the scenes to determine how the remainder of the loans will be handled, and Lydia can talk a little bit more in depth about that. The majority of the accrued liabilities is made up of the first half of the year's annual county contract, which is $45,000, and $39,000 of accrued rate payments. That's something that we'll wish to address moving forward. The SBA 504 income has been steady throughout the year. Thanks again to Lydia, Tony, and Craig and the team. We've not received any new loan funding fee income this year like we did last year. There hasn't been much activity with the incentive programs to date this year, and all the programs are below budget. Great rates, the manufacturing rewards program, and the Monroe Manufacturers Jobs programs are seeing the most activity thus far. We also, as you all are aware, announced the Retain program launch on June 14th. Applications are coming through on that front, and we'll be keeping this board apprised of how that impacts our revenue going forward on that pilot program. The economic development expenditures are behind budget. We anticipate activity will pick up in the back half of the year with our CDL licensing program partnership with BOCES, and as well as new programs that are coming before this board, such as the 2 that you heard about today, or that you will be hearing about today. Excuse me, I spoke in past tense because we had our executive committee meeting just prior to this meeting, and we went over those programs. To date, we have program expenses for the same program, the Summer Advanced Manufacturing Experience Program, also through BOCES, Rochester Works, and the Rochester Museum and Science Center Career Ladders program. Payroll and G&A expenses are steady and in line with expectations. G&A expenses are under budget due mostly to not having legal fees that we were expecting that we budgeted for. And MCIDC's performance to close is very near where we were last year. An uptick in our incentive programs and the activity therein and economic development expenses in the second half of the year will close a lot of the gap on the current budget difference. And I want to thank staff and Greg and his team at Bonadio, including Ashley Werner, for their work on this, on the financial, painting our financial picture. Are there any questions? And again, I mentioned, I kind of put Lydia on the spot here to talk about the Fast Forward Monroe forgiveness. If there are any questions about that, Lydia would be our subject matter expert.
No,
Actually, no.
no,
Oh, excuse me.
no, there's bullets for that. That's later on in the
Okay,
agenda.
okay. Apologies.
Nope.
Thank you.
Is that it? Any questions for Anna? It's a good report. We'll have to find Greg and tell him that you did well. We want to go to executive committee report. We just had our executive committee meeting just before our board meeting today, and we listened to 2 potential programs that we're looking at funding. The executive committee pushed forth both of these funding opportunities to the board. We did recommend them. And one is the Career Ladder program at the Rochester Museum and Science Center. We funded that last year, I think at around $35,000. And this year they came back at $50,000 for 1 year. We just got finished having a wonderful discussion with them. And so we did approve that. There are some improvements in the program from last year, but just to update you, mainly the educational programs at the Rochester Museum and Science Center, they will have what is called discovery guides. And these are the folks that are on the career ladder that work there. You can work there if you're in high school. They've offered it also to college students. I think there's about maybe 5 that are currently working now, and they're looking to hire even more. There's also a few more positions that are going to be designated to bring a little bit more of structure and process to these job titles that they have. So they're planning on having a senior discovery guide position also too. So we have, I think with us is still, is Travis still on the line?
Yep, just logged in.
Okay. All right. And we have person that we met last year. I don't know if the board remembers this, but I think Cinnamon, I don't know her last name. What's her last name?
David.
Yes. She is with us also too. So Travis, can you just give us a small overview of the program?
Sure. Thanks again for inviting me. So the Career Ladder program at RMSC has been our primary youth workforce development program for the past 11 years. The teens and young adults who work in this program, primarily it's a first job experience, and they receive a ton of on-the-job training, supervision, coaching, and peer mentoring. They develop essential workplace skills and a lot of soft skills as they grow. And ideally, they can explore additional steps on the ladder like Cinnamon has done. With the MCIDC support from the past year, we've made huge strides in growing this program. We've raised the minimum wage that they used to make up to $14 an hour. We've physically grown the size of the number of staff in the program. We've grown our network of partner organizations, and several of our participants have gone on to college, and 2 of them have actually found full-time positions in their field of choice. So great successes in the program over the last year. And we are hoping to continue our partnership with MCIDC and requesting additional support to continue with our vision of the program. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has.
So just briefly, we want to introduce you to Cinnamon David and have her just describe her career since she's been at the Rochester Science Museum. Cinnamon, are you on?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
So hello, you guys. My name is Cinnamon David. I've been working for the Rochester Museum and Science Center for almost eight years. I started off at 17. I was informed about the job by my high school science teacher, who happens to be married to one of the exhibits members. I started off as career ladder, and when I graduated from the career ladder status, I became a floor staff member. And throughout my floor staff career ladder years, I was able to assist with birthday parties and scout programs. I was able to also participate and represent the museum outdoors at the Boys and Girls Club, and be an assistant for our outdoor supervisor. I was an instructor during the pandemic years when the museum closed down and was allowing online learning. I also assisted with curiosity camp instructing, as well as when a position opened up in the last year to become a floor supervisor, I applied, was able to be a floor supervisor now. Throughout the years, I was able to go to high school and college and graduate from 2 colleges with the flexibility of our scheduling for the museum. I was also able to participate with developing an exhibit called Sound Sense when it was on a larger scale. Now it's a smaller scale called Sound Bites on our 2nd floor. And I've learned a lot through the museum. I was able to develop many, many skills, including public speaking, customer service.
Hey, could you describe briefly what floor supervisor is?
So a floor supervisor basically monitors the visitor experience. We monitor our floor staff and our career ladder, making sure that the museum is running and functioning, turning on exhibits, turning off exhibits, being in contact with the visitors if there's an issue or if they love what's going on, helping with the programs and making sure that the discovery guides, which we call them now, are scheduled. They know what their assignments are and assisting with those assignments if need be, trainings, even if it's trainings when it comes to starting the position or trainings when it comes to learning different kind of experiments and procedures and policies that we have.
Are there any questions for Travis or Cinnamon? So we put the motion on the floor for the Career Ladder program to not exceed $50,000 for next year. That's a motion.
Jeff will move it.
You need a second?
Second,
Lynn
Joe
will
Rizzo.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. I possibly should have dismissed you all first before we did that, but we were very confident that the program is good. That's not really the way that we do business, but congratulations, okay?
Thank you
Thank you
so much.
All right.
Thank you guys very much.
I mean, we made you wait on the good news, so we might as well have done it in front of you, you know? So,
Thank you. It's
All right.
wonderful.
all right, Godspeed and have a good year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you all. Have a great day.
Rock Your Hands is an event that is coming up, and we have with us Bob Coy from RTMA. He's going to just briefly describe what this event is, and they're asking for funding in the amount of $10,000 for the event. Bob?
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for your time. A brief overview of this program is it's meant to be a career education and exploration for typical students that don't get exposed to these type of great paying careers. And they are in the advanced manufacturing world, in the skilled trades, carpentry, electrician, roofing, all the union trades, heavy equipment, and also auto tech, where oftentimes $60,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year with full benefits once an individual has reached a journey worker status. So clearly the pay for these careers pulls people out of poverty. And the intent is that the city students have typically been left behind with exposure and education in these types of careers. Yes, there's Edison Tech, and yes, there's East High, and there are some charter schools that are offering CTE. But if you look at the total city population of students versus the amount of programs that are offered, you're looking at like 1% of the student body. So There are similar programs out in the Glow region and out in the Wayne, Seneca, Yates, Ontario counties, but nothing in Monroe County. They do something at the Fleet Center, but this is on a much larger scale. We're looking to have somewhere between 12 and 1,500 students between the city of Rochester and the Monroe County schools, and well over 100 employers that will demonstrate the careers that they offer. And along with that, there will be all the BOCES programs, all the charter schools that offer CTE, Edison, East High, MCC will be there to also share the training opportunities that there are specifically for kids that are in 8th or 9th grade that haven't decided yet what school they're going to go to, or maybe they can transfer in and still get that training for these great careers. So our intent is to have a one-day event. The city of Rochester has graciously provided the Rochester Community Sports Complex, which is the old soccer stadium downtown, as the site for the event. And so we're seeking funding to help offset many of the costs that are associated with it, like we need to have an ambulance on staff, we need to provide lunch, we need to provide some type of breakfast. We're going to have swag for the kids and that sort of stuff to make it exciting for them through this exploration process.
Any questions for Bob? Okay. Well, Bob, thank you, and we'll get back with you.
It sounds good.
Let you
Thank
know
you
what
for
the-
your
what-
consideration, and I look
Okay.
forward to hearing good news.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, we need a motion to, the executive committee approved that we should fund this here. It seems to be an important event. I don't think that he said to it, but costs around $53,000 to put this on, and so we would be one of the funders of the event here. But the executive committee did make the recommendation that we should approve this here. So I'm looking for a motion to approve $10,000 for this Rock Your
I'll
Hand
move,
event.
this is Joe Rizzo, I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Peter, I'll
first.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we can call Bob as soon as this meeting is over with, Robin, and let him know he's in. Okay. So we need to go into executive session. We have a couple of loans to speak about. And a few other things while we're in executive session, and then we'll come out. So I need a motion.
Jeff will move that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.